Welcome to KaiChi Live. I'm KaiChi, and this is my recap on the 2012 TMNT. Before I start my recap, for this season 5, episode 7, titled Yojimbo, I want to talk about the animation and the character design for this episode. Some of the character design is really beautiful, and the background, even though it's empty, bare, saying that there's no life, like animal life. But we do see those little dinosaurs inhabit the Yojimbo Usagi story. Uh, but it's great. It's beautiful to look at, and character, like I mentioned before, the character design was beautiful for each character that was shown, and the details on their armor and the clothes was great to look at. In the cold opening, before the main theme comes up, we see Usagi, the rabbit samurai, Ronin samurai, was fighting against another fighter called Jay. That's Jei. They pronounce Jay. In the source material, Jay is an anamorphic wolf that has a long life and has been, I guess, killing anyone that he deems evil in his sense of justice. In the opening, we see him and Usagi fight, and of course it's all dark. The background, I guess, the atmosphere is dark, and it's also raining. We all see some of the lighting, and we see him and Usagi go at each other. At one point, Jay has the upper hand and about to strike Usagi down with his spear. But then suddenly, a bolt of lightning strikes Jay's spear, and it seems to incinerate Jade. And we see Usagi looking upon it, but was knocked out. But when he came up to be, the sky was clear, and I think it was daytime. And we see Jay's spear still on the ground, and we don't see Jay anywhere. And that's how we begin with the episode. After the main theme was finished, we see Usagi just walking through the forest until he came upon a village, where we find the village all destroyed and devoid of people, well, I guess villagers. While he was walking through the village, he was assessing what was going on. But since he's a rabbit, he got long ears and he could hear movements within the village. He asked them to come out, and we got a weird scene that I mentioned before, that the little dinosaurs that had been shown in the Yojimbo Usagi comics all of a sudden came out with a hand in his mouth. I'm not sure, with a hand or a paw. And I thought, wow, there's like death in this episode. Or not death, but like death had been said, because like all of a sudden a cat-like creature, anamorphic cat, I think it's a cat, she came out and he recognized her and he called her Akime. Akemi, Akime. She's some Akimi. I mean, she's some kind of bodyguard from some kind of, for a holy child. She mentioned that the village was attacked by a bunch of rogue samurai led by Sumukumo, like a mercenary. And they almost they killed most of the village and some of her other body protector for the holy child. And she's saying that she was the only one left. Anyway, the holy child turned out to be Kintaro, a little pup-like kid. Some of you probably know or don't know that Kintaro is one of those Japanese stories where you tell little kids about how this kid named Kintaro was raised in the mountain where he fought bears, which gave him super strength, and he always carried an axe. And someday he became, I think, a king maybe? Or some kind of prominent figure. Also, I should mention that everyone, like Usagi and Akimi, was speaking like a Eastern accent, but when we hear the Kintaro voice, he sounded with an American accent, so that threw me off a little bit. And he was a little smug, but Akimi mentioned that since he was known as the Holy Child, he has been pampered for life, so that's why he acted like a little spoiled brat. It turns out Akimi was transporting the child to some kind of temple where he could be protected. But since he was injured from the attack, she asked Usagi to take the kid, I mean. But the kid, being a smug kid, a spoiled brat, making insults to Usagi about his appearance and his way. I mean, then we see Usagi taking the kid to the temple. As we see them traveling throughout the forest, wherever the forest is, we see the kid still assaulting Usagi. Then we find out what happened to Jay. He in fact survived the lightning bolt attack, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But he was standing some kind of on top of a mountain, and he was looking at a pool of water, or a bowl of water, and he saw Usagi and the kid. Once again, the background is like gloomy, it's all dark, but it's not raining, so yeah. Anyway, he plans to summon some powerful warriors in order to help him against Usagi. And we see him pull out some kind of totem, or I guess I would call him totem, that's shaped like a little turtle. And he used some kind of ritual in order to summon the Teenage Mutant Turtles, like Leonardo, Ralph, Michelangelo, and Donatello. And we see get a funny scene of them, hanging out or doing, they were doing stuff and floating in the air and fall down. Jay then approached to the turtles. He mentioned that he was attacked by a ruthless rodent rabbit, and they should help him. Which we see him putting them under some kind of enchantment. He also mentioned the kid was in trouble, and which they agreed to stop the rabbit and help save the kid. Night finally came, and we see Usagi and Kintaro setting up camp. And as always, Kintaro was insulting Usagi. Usagi then try to get some water from the nearby river. Then we see the turtle attack him, which we get a great fighting scene between Usagi and the turtles. Usagi was able to defend himself against Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. And when he go against Leonardo, Kintaro decides to help Usagi. But unfortunately, since he was a kid and a little bit clumsy, but he was able to throw his axe, but it missed both Usagi and Leonardo, then ricocheted off a tree and hit Leonardo on the head. Oh, but not like the metal part, I think maybe the handle or the side of the axe, which broke the enchantment. It seems that Kintaro has some kind of ability to send magic in the air, as he noticed the turtle was under some kind of enchantment. Both Usagi and Kintaro assumed the turtle was, Kappa, type of yokai, basically like a supernatural creature, like roughly translated. After that, they went back to the campsite and exchanged stories of who they are and how they came to be. This is where Usagi found out that they were sent by Jade, and they were transported from a different kind of dimension, and they needed help to get back. Usagi mentioned that since he's taking Kintaro to some kind of holy temple, that the monks over there might be able to help them. The turtles then decided to go with Usagi to take Kintaro to that temple. As they were walking through the forest, and once again, thanks to the excellent hearing from Usagi, he heard horses. After they were able to get to a safe place, they climb up a tree. We found out who was on the horses. It was the mercenary samurai group that led by Sumo Kumo. Then they decided to follow them in order to get information on why were they after Kintaro. After they were able to knock out some of the horse riders and wore some of their armors, they were able to get close, and they found out that they were sent by Jay in order to get the holy child Kintaro. I should mention that the riders were made up of a group of wolves, anamorphic wolves, and the Sumo Kumo was ironically led by a wolf. Well, not ironically, because the name Sumo is basically a Japanese wrestling, and Kumo is Japanese for bear. So it's somehow connected to, Kintaro with the storyline of Kintaro finding the bear in order to get super strength. Unfortunately for the turtles and their group, they would find out. Since they lived on the sewers, they smelled different, and Kumo was able to find them out. Then we get an epic fighting horse scene that we hadn't we've seen they fight on trucks and cars, but fighting on horseback, that was kind of awesome. We see Usagi using his samurai skill, deflecting the arrows, knocking the horse riders off, and we see the other turtles doing the same thing. We see, with Raphael, we see him going close in, and we see Michelangelo being, a surfer, well, not surfer dude, but more acrobatic, using the horses and jumping on other horses, knocking the rider off. And we see Donatello, using his staff to knock off the riders too. You also see the same thing with Leonardo with his sword fight. After one point, I guess I should have mentioned before that Kintaro is since he's a child, he decided to put him in some kind of barrel and put the barrel behind the horse. So Raphael, he was running with Raphael, and unfortunately he lost the barrel, which was Kintaro. When we see the barrel, rolling like an epic, not like an epic scene where basically we see the barrel rolling, and we see Usagi able to get his hand on a bow and arrow, and we see him doing some a cool arrow trick, and we see him the arrow hitting one arrow, making a ramp, so the barrel actually hit the tree and hurt the child. He was able to save the kid, and this is where we end the episode, basically not off a cliffhanger, but off a cliff. We see the Sumo Kumo and his samurai mercenaries go after the turtles, Usagi, and the kid. And we see them, the turtle and the group, just like running off a cliff, which is odd considering I know they didn't know the lay of the land, but they just basically ran off the cliff, which is ironically because like most horses don't, when they see the cliff they actually stop, but they were able to get the horses off the cliff. So basically, this is where we see the the cliff off, not a cliff ending. Well, it is a cliffhanger, but it's a cliff off. We see the turtles, Usagi, and the kid just falling off the cliff. Overall, this episode was good. We see, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that the animation and the character design was really good, and the detail on their armor and the sword, their clothing was really detailed. I was kind of, now if I think about it, I'm kind of sad this is the last season because like if it was going on, we get to see more of that world. I don't think there's like a cartoon for that story. Yojimbo, Usagi. I kind of wish they kind of have one because like there's like a rich history. Because like there's like a bunch of storyline which can be translated to cartoons. I would really want to see it, and I think this is one of like 3 episodes. Like unlike the last episode, which is like a 2-part episode of episode 5 and 6. This is episode 7. They actually split this part apart, and this may actually make me look forward to like next week. I think we release another episode next week to see what happens. Whether or not, of course, they're gonna survive the cliff jump, but I want to see how. Man. It's kind of like a little epic because like they're in feudal Japan, and because like we see old stuff, not old stuff. I mean, it's good to see like a different world. How would the turtle interact? Thanks to a sneak peek, we know that the turtles are going to travel to different timelines and different universes, and this make me a little sad that this season is the last season. But I'm still looking forward to it for the rest of the other future episodes of this season. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that likes button. Click over here to watch my previous video. Click over here to watch my previous recap on the 2012 TMNT, and click over here. Subscribe to my channel KaiChi Life for future nerd geeky videos. Thank you.